Hey guys, it's your girl Chef Joya, and welcome back to another episode of Say What? It's Vegan. Now we're getting ready to make some of the best Caribbean food there is. Now there's several different types of curry. You have Thai curry, Jamaican curry, Indian curry, Trini curry. But when I tell you Trini curry go is hands down the best curry there is, I know y'all like to tussle, this ain't no argument. I'm telling you, it's the best. And we're getting ready to make it vegan. So let's see how we do it. Eat it, they be like, say what? It's vegan? So yeah. With most Caribbean dishes, there is a seasoning that's called green seasoning, and it's made many different ways. In Puerto Rican culture, it's called sofrito. In Haitian culture, it's called epis, but it's different wherever you're making it. And so in the Trini food, they call it green seasoning. I'm gonna have this full recipe in my cookbook. This version might vary just a little bit because I just cook how I feel, right? But you always wanna start with some culantro. Now, culantro is like 10 times stronger than cilantro. It has similar flavor, but they are very different, okay? So I'm gonna add some cilantro to this as well. Next, I'm gonna go ahead and take some tops of the green onion. Matter of fact, let's just use that whole thing. If you ever wonder why Caribbean food tastes so good, that's why. You see all this flavor in here? You can like just smell it already, and all I'm doing is cutting, all right? Now we are gonna take some red bell pepper because red bell pepper is sweeter and it adds a nice touch of flavor to it. And yes, we're gonna add some green bell pepper as well. Next, we're gonna add some celery. All right, we're gonna do a habanero, a full one, and yes, we're leaving in the seeds. We're gonna use that heat. Get used to the heat, it's okay. And then we're gonna go ahead and take some parsley. I particularly don't want basil in mine for this recipe, so I'm gonna just go ahead and add some fresh thyme. Now, you don't wanna get the woodsy part of the thyme, you know. Look at me, somebody don't get the woodsy part and got a whole bunch of wood in here. Hold on, let me get that out. And I know it says a war on if Trini curry is better than Jamaican curry and all that. I already stated my opinion in the beginning. But I mean, it just really depends on honestly what it is you make. With the goat, I would say, you know, I said what I said. Now, when it comes to the chicken, I don't know about that one, y'all. Yeah, I'm gonna let y'all decide. Y'all let me know what y'all think. What do you think is Trini curry chicken or Jamaican curry chicken is better? All right, so we're gonna use some ginger garlic paste. You can use some fresh ginger for this, but I like to use the ginger garlic paste because it's already, like, try opening it first. Brand new. There we go. Ta-da! So I like to use the ginger garlic paste because it's already ginger and garlic already blended. Next, I'm gonna actually go ahead and add some garlic cloves to it, just because I can. Like, I'm a big old sucker for onions and garlic. Ooh, child, I don't know how my breath don't be hitting it because I love using it. Next, I'm gonna add a little bit of olive oil. Now, this is optional. You don't have to add olive oil to your green seasoning. I love to. And then I'm also gonna use some lime juice. If you have fresh limes, you can do that as well. Open your items. So add some lime juice to it. And then you also wanna add some vinegar. Now, typically you'll add like some apple cider vinegar or white wine vinegar, they tell you, but if you don't know about red wine vinegar, it takes it up another notch and another level. So go ahead and toss you in some of that red wine vinegar. You can use salt and pepper, but I have my Just Magic seasoning. It's the enhancer of everything. So we're gonna go ahead and add that to it. We're gonna put just a touch bit of water in here to help it blend. This is important. This is like the base of a lot of your dishes, so this has to be perfect. Let's go ahead and get that blended. Let's give it a nice little test and make sure it's all right. Ooh, that's gonna be good. All right, so our green seasoning is done. We're gonna move this to the side and get working on our goat. Now, to work on our goat, we're gonna actually use these vegan soy slices. Y'all have seen me use this in several different recipes, whether it's for pepper steak or oxtails. And I love using these because they're super versatile, they're not expensive, and they're easy to find. You can find them at almost any Asian market that you go to. But basically, the easiest way to use this, and make sure you get some flavor in it, is you put it in some water for about 10 minutes and make sure you bring it to a boil. Add some vegan Worcestershire sauce to it. And I actually had a vegan goat bouillon that I found at the international market. If you're not able to find a goat bouillon, a beef bouillon will do. And then you wanna make sure you put a little bit of browning on these just to give it a little bit more color. And like I said, let them boil for about 10 minutes and drain them. The next thing you wanna go ahead and do is take some all-purpose flour, and you're gonna season it with my Just Magic or your all-purpose seasoning. We're gonna go ahead and take our pieces of our rehydrated soy chunks. So they're gonna look like this, they're thin just like this. So I'm gonna get these nicely coated. And we're not gonna over flour these. You just wanna make sure we add some texture to these. And I just have some oil heating up right here. This is just some vegetable oil. You can use whatever oil you want. I just wouldn't suggest using an oil that's gonna add too much flavor to it because you do not want to change the dish. All right, and I'm actually gonna put this back into my little strainer just to shake off the excess, or you can leave it in a bowl, whatever you prefer to do. You just wanna make sure you get all that excess flour off. Shake it real good. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and add our chunks into the hot oil. And you do want to make sure you give them space to breathe. You don't want to overcrowd them. And we're going to let this fry for about 2 minutes, maybe 1.5 to 2 minutes. Once they start floating and they get a nice little crispy color, that's when you know it's ready to come out. Because we don't want to make sure they don't get too hard. You just want to make sure they're able to hold up towards that curry mixture, okay? All right, now the best part is making the curry. It's simple, but it is a lot of steps to it just because I like to make sure it's gonna be the best thing you ever had. You know, that's how I am. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna use some oil, just a little bit of olive oil that I'm using, a light flavor olive oil. And while that's heating up, I'm gonna go ahead and slice some of my veggies. So I have a shallot, and then we're gonna add a nice little slice of our onion. Now in this recipe, you do have to pay attention to your oil, your curry, because you're toasting your curry. And one of the reasons why you're gonna toast your curry is because you wanna bring out more of those flavors. So you have to make sure you get it nice and brown without burning it, okay? So we're gonna add our onions to this, and we're gonna let it do its thing for just a little bit. So I'm gonna add some of my ginger garlic paste to this. I say a little, but I use a lot. Listen, I'm all about those flavors, okay? All right, so let's get this nice and stir it around. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Don't be fighting me. It likes to fight. It likes to tussle. Oh, now we are going to use an Indian curry. We're not going to use a Jamaican curry for that. And it's easy to find it. It'll literally say Indian curry, and Jamaican curry will say Jamaican curry. The difference between them two is one have more chilies than it does have turmeric, and it does have a different taste actually. So it's definitely just depending on your preference. That's why I say in the curry wars, which one's your favorite? Ain't nothing like no bald head curry. Somebody ever gave y'all some curry before and it was just yellow, or it was the color, but it wasn't the flavor, and you like, where the curry? I can't find the curry. The other thing that we're gonna go ahead and add to this is some gram masala. Now you can find these at most grocery stores. I like to get mine from the Indian markets. So I'm gonna add some gram masala to it too. We wanna make sure we cook all that powder, that graininess out of it, because we wanna make sure it's toasted, but we don't wanna have like that graininess to it, all right? So I'm gonna add maybe just a touch bit more oil, not too much. You could go ahead and use a karam powder, which is like a masala powder that's super spicy, but I just wanna go ahead and use a habanero, scotch bonnet to it. I am actually just gonna bust it a little bit because I actually have other people that I want to try it, and I don't want it too hot for them. So I'm just gonna be nice, and I'm gonna bust it a little bit in there and let it cook. We're gonna go ahead and add our potatoes to it. Potatoes in a lot of Caribbean cooking has been used as fillers. What you would do is, like, if there wasn't like enough food, or you wanna make sure everybody in the family ate, adding potatoes to the dish actually made people become fuller, and you didn't have to use as much meat. And you can use as much or as little as you like. The size I'm cutting them, it's probably gonna take about a 10-minute cook time, all right? So we're gonna go ahead and add this to the pan. Get some nice turns, get them all yellow, all that good stuff. You're gonna go ahead and use some Just Magic or all-purpose seasoning. Just Magic is the best, I'm just saying. You can even use Red House for this if you would like. Y'all see that? I don't play. You know this ain't bald head at all. All right, so typically you would marinate your meat in this green seasoning and add it to this, but I'm just gonna add some of my green seasonings to this right now. Like I said, we don't have to do that with our vegan meat because all the flavor is gonna be already in this stew. So we're gonna add some vegetable bouillon. Reason I'm adding vegetable bouillon to this is because I'm using water instead of vegetable stock. If you have vegetable stock at home, you can skip this part. Then what I'm also gonna do is add my vegan goat bouillon. Now you probably can find these online. You can definitely get them in an international grocery market. It actually says goat flavored bouillon, okay? Don't look for nothing to say vegan, that's where you have to read. It says goat flavored bouillon. So I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna pop one of these right in here. Now I tell y'all, this thing tastes like goat. I was like, bah. They said, well, go say bah. How you capture a whole goat though? So you're like, Chef Joya, I can't find it. Use the vegan beef bouillon, you'll be all right. I add a little bit of liquid smoke to it, just because it thickens up the profile of the dish. And of course, you know, I gotta have some Worcestershire sauce in there because y'all know It'll be bald head without it. So we're gonna add some water to this, and then we're gonna cover it, let it cook for about 10 minutes, and then we're gonna come back, add in our curry goat. That's gonna cook for about 3 to 4 minutes, and it'll be ready to go. I'm telling you, the color, the texture, the flavor, it's everything. Like, everybody that's Trini that thought they couldn't have Trini curry goat anymore, baby, tell your mama, say hello. And you can take this extra to your mama and tell her, she's gonna be like, oh, I love it. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and put our curry goat, look at that, in a bowl. And then I got a little bit of culantro just for some garnish. And it's actually gonna add so much flavor because like I told you, culantro has all that flavor. And then we're gonna go ahead and eat it with some roti. Now you can fold it up with roti. I just like to pinch my roti and eat it with the curry goat. But this right here, baby, is gonna be the best vegan curry goat you ever had. When you try this recipe out, I know you're gonna let me know what you think. You're gonna give me a shout, give me a like, give me a share, give me a subscribe. Tell the world all about Chef Joya and where you can find the best vegan recipes. I'm Chef Joya. This is Say What Is Vegan. Ciao. I was gonna say, oh, nah, what's my name? Girl. You know I ain't got nothing to say. It's good.